Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Brian Sebastian's Movie Reviews and More. And today we have an extra special treat. We have, continuing from our part one, the very handsome and debonair, Mr. Dean Piper. He is the owner and founder of Top 4 Media and Pipeman Productions. And since our last show a few weeks ago, he has been named in the top 5 global best podcast radio shows of 2020. He was also named to the Guinness World Records for the largest attendance for a virtual podcasting conference in 1 week. His Top 4 Media has strategic partnerships with iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon Prime, and Amazon Music. Dean Piper, known as the King of Entertainment, Internet, Entertainment, and Information, he is a true Renaissance man. He's a motivational speaker, a PR man, he's a best-selling author, and he's a fearless adrenaline junkie, as you will learn. He's foundation for his love of life can be found in his music. Music stems from everything that the Pipeman does and is successful in. Everyone, welcome our very handsome birthday boy on Sunday, Mr. Dean Piper.
Yay!
Well, thank you for that interview. Or that intro. I don't think we even need to do the interview now. That like sums it all up. We're good.
No, we all want to know about you, learn about you. You're a magnet for everything successful.
Well, I have a question. If I am allowed to, with going with the times nowadays, just interrupt everybody and talk as much as I want over everybody.
Hey,
this is not a debate.
Gene would do that also. So Jessica, I was telling him he's got the Gene Simmons look because I always loved that look. See, this is where I'm pretending I'm white. I always wanted to have rocker hair. I wanted to have those kick-ass sunglasses that you could look cool, but I can't do that.
Well, and my look always changes, so I always change it up. But I want, oh look, we have somebody else here.
Yes, Terry. How are you?
Yes, I knew that. But I wanted to welcome you.
Hello, Sherry.
Hi.
So I want to do something first before we start the interview, because on my way to my studio today to do this, before I stopped it, I actually did go get my hair done before this because it was time. But I found this downstairs by my where I live by the mail, and it's a gift from somebody that you guys know. And I didn't even open it yet. So I figured I'd open it live on the show because it's from Sherry.
Oh, I thought it was from Santa.
So, and I have to say, it does say happy birthday on it because Sunday's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I have to say, she sent me this other gift. It was, and it was a really, really cool gift. But I think she felt bad because it was like this really cool rocker coffee, and I don't drink coffee. I sleep like an average of 4 hours a night. I never use an alarm clock. I'm a night owl and a morning person, and never drink coffee and never need it.
Yeah, me either.
I'm a coffee person. Brian knows that.
Hey, Dean.
But I am a chocoholic.
Dean, would you like some eating music while you sample your first taste? Would you like to be serenaded with the birthday song early?
Sure. And look, I'm looking at this. I'm like, what is this? A big brick of caramel or something? And it's for shipping. It says Nordic ice on it.
Oh, it's to keep the chocolate from melting.
It's to keep it cool, like you, man.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, I'm in South Florida, and it was outside for like 5 minutes, and this is all melted now. The ice is melted.
Oh
no! That's South Florida for you.
No.
But yeah.
Well, as you sample, I'll gift you with a little music. You ready?
All right, hold on. I gotta open it here to sample it.
Okay.
I'm gonna open it like a guy and like rip it to shreds.
Just tear into it.
So And I on that whole thing of the chocoholic thing, even my kids will tell you, like, used to be, I mean, I curb my sugar addiction now. It was like I quit carbs and sugar all in one day, and it was like quitting crack and heroin.
Oh.
But my kids would tell you, like, they would say, don't leave a pan of brownies out at night. They'll be gone by morning. And they weren't kidding. I'll down a whole pan of brownies.
So you were that dad that always ate the kids' cookies for the holidays, huh?
Well, no, like I made sure there was enough for me to eat one whole bag and them to have the rest.
Or for Halloween? Were you the Halloween kid guy too?
Here's the advice I'll give parents out there. So my mother, when I was a kid, I was never allowed any sweets, no candy, no nothing. And then on the Halloween, I used to go out and get like, I don't know, 4 pillowcases full in the freezing cold. And then her and my brother would rummage through and get all the good stuff and leave me the stuff that no kids want to eat anyway. So here's a lesson, parents. Once I was allowed to eat candy and sugar and chocolate, I went a little overboard for the rest of my life. So maybe give your kids some sweets and maybe they won't want it. Like my son, I would give him all the sweets he wants. He doesn't even eat sweets now. So there's your clue right there. There's some parenting tips.
See, reverse psychology gets you every time.
Oh, also too, you get a kid on a sugar high. My goddaughter, she doesn't eat a lot of candy, but it's like I can tell when she does because she gets on that sugar high and she's just jumping around. But she's like her Auntie T. So,
well, you know what I love about that? You know, payback's a bitch. Every time I'm around my grandkids, I give them as much sugar as possible right before I'm going to give them back to my kids.
Oh, geez.
Jessica,
along with
serenade my fellow Libra for us.
I'm sorry. Say again.
I said serenade our fellow Libra for his birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Only this is a presentation though, so you have to eat it according to the way that I'm singing. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's got rules.
Is it going to be metal? Because I can really do it.
Happy birthday to you,
Marilyn.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Pipeman. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, Brian, is she my birthday gift? I want to know, because that's better than chocolate.
That was good, Jessica.
I think.
I have to say, though, I've had that done for me before, except it was by one of my friends who is like 400 pounds. This was much better. Even if it was virtual, it was better.
All right, Sherry Nelson, you get the first question. Go.
So, Dean, you tell us about that world record. Could you tell us how that happened?
Sure. There's this, we're in this virtual world right now, like, in fact, this week I'm doing radio coverage for the radio show, which is by NAB, which I do every year, except now it's virtual. And there's this other conference, it's called PodFest. And to be honest, that was the last event I went to live before this whole shutdown. Oh. And, so I went to it live, and the live was okay, but they had this app. And I was like, wow, the app is really cool. It's really engaging. There's all these meetups, there's everything. And I was really impressed with the app. Usually when I go to like a festival or a convention or a conference, I'm not impressed with their app, okay? But it's okay, I'm at the live event, I don't need the app. So they did this virtual conference just about a few weeks ago. So obviously it was just using the app. And it was absolutely amazing, like one of the best conferences I ever went to. And what was beautiful about it was virtual. And we all complain about the virtual world we live in right now. But I thought it was amazing because you normally, like, if I was at this convention that I'm doing right now virtually, I wouldn't be able to do this interview. I would be at the convention in sessions. You can't answer your phone, can't run your business, all that stuff. And sometimes you're just bored to death too. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes boring. But with this, it was great. I got to sit on my bed, do work on my computer, answer client calls, and had my phone was on the conference. So I was able to, and I am a multitasker. So, you know, it's like people try to trick me. I'll do work while the TV's on, and they'll ask me what happened on the TV because they think I'm not watching the TV because I'm paying close attention. I'll replay it verbatim to them, you know. And even when I was a kid, my dad always used to say, because I would do homework and I would blast heavy metal music and have MTV on the TV at the same time and do my homework. He would be like, how do you do that? And you know, I was in 11th grade. I was in 11th grade honors classes in 9th grade. So obviously it wasn't affecting me.
I was just going to say, I can totally relate to you because I'm the same way. I'm like a little ADD. So I have to have something going on, like background, either music or the TV while I'm working. And I've always been a multitasker. I mean, some people don't get it, but it's like, I can't function without the TV in the background. And it's weird, like I can't sleep without my fan on either. So I don't know. It's like, so it's good to hear that I'm not the only one who's like crazy that's gonna have like other background noise.
Oh yeah, my TV's on 24 hours a day. That started when I was in the investment business because we didn't have times like we have now. Like I would trade commodities overseas when the markets were closed here, and I would have to have Bloomberg on the TV all night long so my clients didn't lose millions of dollars. And it was funny. When I was married, when we first got together, she freaked out because I would be asleep and like every half an hour, like a clock, I would wake up like a zombie from The Walking Dead. You couldn't talk to me. I wasn't aware to you, but I'd get on my phone and I'd call up to find out what the markets were doing. And I knew exactly what I was doing, but that's all I could do. And then I'd go back to sleep. And it was like every half an hour. And I'm still on that kick, like, it's hard. I can't sleep with the TV off. And then people try to trick me because, you know how they have this thing about guys and they fall asleep to the TV and then they never will admit that they're asleep. Well, people do that to me too. And then I repeat to them what happened on the program that they thought I was asleep during, but I was like half asleep. Don't get me wrong, but I knew what was going on.
So Dean, I do the same thing. So, you know, I have my 3 computers here and my 2 phones and my 1 tablet. So I'm watching, well, I never told anybody this, but people know me. I'm watching a movie as I'm talking to you because this is how I pick movies for film festivals and things. And then, you know, my CEO would say, well, Brian, how do you pick these good movies? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just wired that way to do it. And if I see something good, I have to stop it because I already know it's a good movie to pay attention to. And it's because I do the same thing when I'm on the phone in Australia, New Zealand, you know, we do the same thing. We're not really sleeping. We're sleeping enough, but we're quite aware of what's going on. So even when Sherry's calling me, are you busy? No, I'm never busy, you know, too busy for her because you got to give everybody the time, but we're still doing what we're doing.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I mean, so this Pod Fest, they actually, from the very beginning, they were announcing they were going for the world record. So they didn't know they were going to get it. They were going for it. And basically the deal is with the Guinness Book of World Records, with something like that, the person running the event gets into the Guinness Book of World Records, but so does every attendee as a participant.
Yeah. So, oh, wow.
Yeah, because it said there was over 5,000 attendees, which is amazing.
That's the thing. They needed to get over 5,000. And at the end of the conference, it was like around 5,300. But then it took like 2-3 weeks because the Guinness Book of World Records, they take it seriously. They just don't take your word for it. Like, you know, when we watch the news and we start spitting stuff out on Facebook, you know, they have to actually do the research and like they go over with fine tooth comb. And the Guinness Book of World Records started eliminating attendees because like people involved with the event, like that worked for the event producer, they weren't counted, you know, which I think that's kind of unfair. I mean, you're there, you might as well get counted. So the end result ended up, they had to beat 5,000. It was 5,003. So
wow.
Could you imagine?
Well, there's one thing, and I didn't realize this until Terry had mentioned about, you know, doing podcasts and, you know, streaming conferences. I don't know the traffic in Los Angeles, but I know Terry has said, you know, she's happy that she's not stuck for an hour traveling. So that saves a lot of people, you know, the anguish and things like that. So this, I don't think it would go back. Do you think it'll go back to the old normal?
Well, let me just say, well, in a way, but a changed new normal with the old normal combined, but it was already heading that way. Like in my business, okay, I have multiple locations. It used to be that 95% of the shows walked into my studios to do a show. Now, even if they're 5 minutes away, they don't. We do 99% of them remotely. I used to have a studio in Hollywood that people went into all the time because Hollywood people, they have to go into a studio because, you know, they have to be in the studio. They're Hollywood. And then I'm thinking, and then finally they got a little smart with the 405. Like, why spend 2 hours driving 10 minutes away on the 405? So now, like, I have a part-time studio in Encino that literally it's been 1.5 years since anybody stepped into that studio, including me. You know, and because there's just no need nowadays as far as podcasting or radio. Even if you look at the terrestrial stations, the AM/FM stations, most of their live shows are all done remotely through automation systems, and we do the same thing where you're literally like pre-taping all your stuff. It sounds like it's live, but it's really not. And, you know, everybody's wherever they need to be. And what's beautiful about it is you have the whole world. Like I also have a station down in Australia. I have somebody who works for me in Brussels, somebody in the UK. I have shows that broadcast from all over the world. Of course, I would never be able to do that if we didn't have this virtual thing. You know, they remote into my studio. It's still professionally done. It still sounds like they're sitting in the studio, but they're doing it from their bedroom or wherever.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a mixture. I mean, because I have a day job in healthcare, so I work with physicians. I mean, my job in that arena has been remote for about 6 years. But then again, you know, I would go into offices when I had to. But I feel like I'm getting more done now than I was before. And I think, you know, the doctors are getting more used to telehealth. So it's more of like going to meet people in person if you have to. You know what I mean? Than having to drive an hour on 405 freeway for a 10-minute meeting over something stupid. So sorry, but that's just like that. I don't miss that at all because you know how it's just anywhere in LA, it takes an hour to get to.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like every time I think of moving back full-time, because I live there like part-time, but every time I think of moving back full-time, I get off at LAX, get on the 405. I'm like, forget this. I want to just go home.
The 405 or the 101. It's just, it's.
So Dean, what you talked about, which is that's the reason why we set something up in Tennessee and we did all of our shows ahead of time. So we didn't have to go back because we did everything right before everything was hitting, but we were prepared for all this stuff. So Terry was there. All the shows that we shot were ahead of time. You know, Sherry doesn't know this. Sherry's becoming famous at our studio in Los Angeles because everybody knows who she is because they've been watching the shows. So I said, when that Canada border opens up, she's coming in, and then we'll have a nice little meet and greet for her because it's what we have that everybody's not going to, what you were talking about. So even Terry, we love being in our studio because there's nobody there. So we're doing the opposite of what everybody said. We don't have to worry about that stuff, and it makes it fun. So even when we're stuffing out of Tennessee for Jessica, I just got off the phone about 10 minutes ago, which is why I was sending everybody the link late. We got some stuff set up for our Swift virtual stuff for all of us in Tennessee, which now, and I'm really happy about that. So Dean, my hat goes off to you because your way of thinking I know we're on the right path because the stuff that's coming out of your mouth is what I've been thinking about. Except you're here and I'm going to catch up, I hope, one day.
And well, thank you for that. And think about this, but before I say this, I do want to say I really wish they had beaches in Tennessee, and like all the Southerners like to say like lakes or beaches. No, they're not beaches, like ocean beaches.
Yeah.
Because I talk to some people and they're like, yeah, we have a beach. I'm like, that's not a beach, okay?
That's a lake.
No,
Exactly.
It's dirt and rocks. Yeah, it's not.
Exactly.
Near.
But I love Tennessee. Like, I have to say, ever since I'm 12 years old, I have felt that, and I'm from New York and New Jersey originally. I lived in California during high school, and that's how I found out about Tennessee. I driving cross country. You guys have the friendliest people of anywhere in this whole country, bar none. And I've been in like 45 of the 50 states, and bar none. And I'm a Yankee, so most of the southern states I'll never say are friendly, ever. But Tennessee, bar none. And I love the Smoky Mountains too.
Oh yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I pride myself in being from an area that is nice to everyone. I would like to, I know that I am. And yes, I am so looking forward to, especially this time of year is beautiful in the Smokies. And we've been discussing for a while that hopefully we'd be able to venture out to Dollywood. I performed there several years ago, and still have a lot of friends that I would love to revisit. So hopefully soon we'll be able to go check it out. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. And Tennessee is true friendly people though, because like that whole Southern charm thing to a Yankee and the other Southern states, that's all fake to us. But Tennessee is like that true Southern charm. Like it's true nice. The other ones, they're being nice to your face and not to be on your back. So kudos to Tennessee.
So Dean, how we found Jessica, she was at our workshop that Terry and Katarina and I were in last year. And then it was one of those things, she came up and she introduced herself, and then I liked her. I'm like, there's something about this young lady that I like. And then the day that we were going to go shoot our shows, the last minute, she saved us because she drove us to our shows to go shoot. So she's the only one that's actually seen our live shows in Tennessee. She said before. So I said, because you saved our asses, you're going to be a part of what I'm doing. Almost a year later, she was brought in. And I keep telling people, you never know who's going to be part of our group because we all truly like each other. And I couldn't be happy because once she couldn't go and perform on the cruise ships and travel around the world, which is what she was doing, I'm very honored to have her. So I speak highly about it to everybody. And even with Sherry, because like I said, when Terry and I were in our studio the other day, it's like, so where's this girl from Canada? I'm like, the Canadian border is still closed, but she'll get here. And what about the girl in Tennessee? Well, she'll get here too. We're setting it all up. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, no doubt. Like, as we talked about last time, I travel all the time during the off season, and then I travel during the festival season. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm ready for this to be over already. Like, I am so done. I was talking to somebody about going to Puerto Rico for my birthday. And then I read the restrictions. Like, you can go, but you have to get a test within 72 hours. And, if not, you're quarantined for 14 days. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, what if they don't give you the results in 72 hours? Like, then I'm stuck there, and so, I'm so sick of this. Is the longest I've been in Florida at one time. That because I'm not a big fan of Florida as it is. So to be stuck here since March and not be able to go anywhere is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I'm a travel bug. I like to travel. And so for me, like not to be able to go on vacation, it's driving me nuts. I mean, I actually have some friends that live in Florida, so I was able to go visit them in July, but it's still not the same. Like me and Sherry were talking last night that we need to go to like Cabo or something. Like I need a break from just being stuck in.
I really wish they locked down, this whole thing like 2 weeks before they did, because as I said in the last one, I was in Costa Rica a week before lockdown. It would have been much better to be locked down over there and not be here.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, you can't go home. Okay, I'm fine with that. But yeah, and I will say also about Tennessee, Nashville, like, so they say Austin is the live music capital of the world. I wasn't that impressed. I love Nashville, but I wasn't that impressed with Austin. I didn't think it was as good as Nashville, to be honest.
Yeah, Nashville blows Austin away. I'm sorry, it just does.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that's the live capital, music capital, because I didn't think it was that good. Like you're in Nashville, you could go from one place to the other to the other to the other for live music like all night long. Like and that's
no, it is Nashville. I agree, it is Nashville and not Austin.
I don't get it. I was kind of bored in Austin, you know, and it wasn't the same class of people either. I didn't find, you know, just totally different. The places in Nashville, they were packed and a lot of fun. So
I know that they are trying so hard to get the thing. I mean, it's not going to be back to normal for who knows how long. But I know that all the artists, all the entertainers, we're all just chomping at the bit to get back out and to do something. And it's not just us. I mean, people that love music, they need that too. It's not. I mean, obviously, we would like to get paid again one of these days. But it's about providing that entertainment for everyone else. We all need that to survive and to function. And I guess it was last week. A friend and I drove down Broad just to see what it was like, what's going on. And it was just so heartbreaking. I mean, it's definitely better than what it was, but there were, you know, not a lot of people out. And, but those that were really trying to have a good time. And they still had the windows open, and each bar had a different band playing. So per usual, you hear something coming out of each venue. So we're trying so hard.
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
Oh, it's just questioning, how are they dealing with it? Are the restaurants opened and they're having like some live music there, or is it completely shut down? I mean, here in LA, obviously we've got everything outside and people are eating outside, but you know, there's no performances or anything like that.
So
there are all the venues, the majority of the venues that have live musicians, they're always set up next to the window. Like the performance area is next to pretty much the sidewalk or the opening, and those windows usually open. So they do have a band that's playing, but all the windows are open, and I believe it's at 50% capacity, not full capacity. And masks are, you know, they call them the mask police, and they've got cops or security or whatever wandering up and down the sidewalk. And if they see you without a mask, you can be fined. So they're trying to get people down there, but they're still taking the precautions necessary and being aware. And
so I gotta say, like, because I deal with musicians and artists all the time, and I feel very, very bad for them, what they're having to go through right now and all the stuff. And what I want to do is listen, every music artist out there, just come to South Florida, because our stupid governor opened the state 100%. There is no rules. There is no anything, you know, because we're a couple weeks before the election. I think that's why it was done, because, you know, most all of the red states have been required to open all of a sudden it was one day we were in the beginning of phase 2, and then the next day he comes out and says, okay, everything's open 100%, no restrictions, no fines. You know, people that got fines before for not wearing a mask or whatever, we're getting rid of all those fines and just do whatever you want. So, you know, all you music artists can come here and our places will be all packed. You'll probably die of COVID, but you can.
But you know what, though? You say you die happy.
You know. What can I tell you?
I do have to say this. So Sherry, we have taken precautions for our studio when you come in. I am working on the stuff for Tennessee for you. So we want to make sure that when our fellow co-hosts, our Canadian friend, when you come in, you're welcome and have a good time. We are setting this up.
There you go. And going back to what we were talking about, what you said, Brian, about, you know, I kind of look at now as the same thing as when PCs first started, you know, exactly. Like I talked about in the last interview of how, you know, I looked at starting my radio station like Bill Gates against IBM. Bill Gates had this vision of a PC in every home. IBM could not even fathom that. They're like, you're crazy. The mainframe will never go away. And I think you're going to have a lot of companies like that now that are still trying to hold on to what was in December, that may never be again. Like there are still companies I know right now that are not conforming and they're going to die. How it works. It's the same when the internet first came out. There were these brick and mortar companies that refused to conform and they died. The ones that included it, they're the ones that are still around. And I think what we're going to see is we're going to also see, just like with the start of the .coms, you're going to see all these new companies come out, and you're already seeing it, for the new world. And they're only going to survive if they combine the old world. And that's the same thing I said with the internet. All the .coms that went bust were the ones that were saying, oh, brick and mortar is going to go away. We'll never have it again. But then you had a company like Amazon who joined forces with Barnes and Noble and or Toys R Us. And, and every company that is big now on the internet combined forces with the brick and mortar to give two options. Amazon even, okay, so I don't know if you have, but Amazon in the mall where I live has a store there now. You can actually go into a physical Amazon store and buy stuff you can buy on Amazon Prime.
That's awesome.
Trip, and they have a line out the door. It's pretty wild.
We got about 3 minutes left. So go ahead, Sherry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dean, I'm just curious, following what you just said. I know that during this COVID crisis, the demographic 55 to 75, they never thought they would ever capture them for online shopping, seeking online information about things. And they are the biggest group that has blown up in popularity. With looking at 2020 and 2019, has your goals or plans for your media conglomeration, have you diverted your goals right now, or
we're
are
doing
they
the
on
same
hold?
thing we always were, because we were already prepared for it ahead of time. We were already doing it. And I have actually two show hosts that are 85 years old that do their own show. They never even turned on a computer before, and they're remoting into our studio. We've been doing it for years. We were prepared for it. This didn't change us in any way. The only thing that has changed is that after going to that Podfest and seeing that app that they use for event, I ended up going out and buying the app, and we're going to be doing a major event in January. It's going to be all virtual. It's going to be the first ever event, and it's the first time I've announced this, by the way, the first ever event that will combine business, motivation, empowerment, music, horror, pop culture, anime, comics, and comedy, all under one roof, and health and wellness, all under one roof. So we're going to have live artist performance and band performances, but we're also going to have motivational seminars. We're going to have comedy acts. We're going to have the whole thing. It'll be all virtual, and it's going to be kick-ass, to be blunt.
Great.
Nice.
You got 30 seconds to talk about your TikTok, because Dean has been watching your funny stuff.
Oh, right.
Except I can't find you now. I was watching your stuff, and now your TikTok's gone.
No, it's not.
It is to me. Maybe you blocked me.
It's there. I gained like 2,000 followers like over the weekend, so it's growing. But no, I just went on there because I was bored. And what do you want me to say about Brian?
Hey, all of a sudden when we were in the studio, you have a couple people follow you. I said it's going to be about what we're doing, pretty much what Dean's talking about. We have the same format. We just didn't know each other, and we're doing the same thing. So we are going to be on his network. That's the last thing that we needed to do. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I just was using my TikTok because I was trying to promote my own brand. Well, it started out with the fitness thing, and then I wanted to experiment with some comedy. I'm doing a show end of November in Vegas. I'm doing Fitness America, which is going to be really weird to me doing this show because I don't know if we're going to have an audience at this show or how it's going to work, but it's in Vegas, so I don't know. But it was just another avenue to promote my own brand and to build my social media, so I'm enjoying it. So
Jessica,
there you go.
Go for it. You got 30 seconds to describe who you are to Dean.
Yeah.
Now, is that...
Hey, Dean. I'm Jessica. I live in Tennessee. What
I think she
did you say?
Described herself with the song.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I sing, I perform. That's what I do. And I can't wait to do it again in person. I mean, you know, right now, the best I can do is record and do session work. And I've been collaborating with people in Canada, Europe, wherever. And that's just what I'm going to keep doing until I get to be back on stage live. Ta-da!
And Brian, we should set her up to do an interview on my show if she dares.
Yes.
I already told her, Dean, you just didn't know.
But then you will get the Pipeman. That's a different person.
All right, so Jessica, give your social media links.
I'm with it. Huh?
Your social media.
Oh. Jessica Heim, first and last name. Instagram, Jessica Heim 7. And then on YouTube, it's Notes, 4, Life.
Sherry Nelson, please.
Facebook, Sherry Nelson. Instagram, Twitter, XOXO, Sherry XO.
Terry.
My website is terrymariaofficial.com. That's where all my hosting fitness stuff is on. And then my social media is Terry Marie Nonstop on all platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Pipeman, you got 20 seconds. Go ahead. Is that 20 seconds for you or 20 seconds to base?
20 seconds for you before you get cut off.
Pipeman Radio everywhere. That's all you got to know. But you can also check out all our radio stations, W4CY Radio, W4WN Radio, which is our all women's network, W4HC, which is our health and wellness, W4CS, which is our cancer, and K4HD, which is our West Coast entertainment feature channel. And then, of course, Talk 4 TV is our TV channel, where we met through one of our shows that's been on with me for 13 years, the Jimmy Star Show. Did I get within 30 seconds?
And with that,
happy birthday, Dean.
If you see
happy birthday.
Please give them one of yours because